States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our town manager's on vacation. Adam Verney is the acting town manager. He'll be with us this evening, and Selectman Paul Bertram is ill and will not be with us this evening. I have two announcements I'd like to read. One is that Cub Scout Pack 1728 will be holding a Mother's Day plant sale on the Ritter Building lawn on Saturday, May 12th from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Second is a note from Jack Rodequintz, the director of the DPW. Preliminary work has begun on the state-funded Chase Road Route 13 road construction project from Northfield Road to the Townsend line. This is being done under a grant of over $1 million that was acquired by the DPW with the assistance of MPO member Paula Bertram. The general contractor, P.J. Albert of Fitchburg, has begun erosion control measures, survey, and marking of existing utilities, and tree trimming should begin next week and will take approximately 10 working days. No trees are scheduled to be removed. Only branches limiting sight distances will be trimmed. Road grinding is scheduled for mid-May, and the entire road will be milled and paved, guardrail replaced, new signage and striping, and while we hope the job will be completed sooner, it must be done by November. Motorists should reduce their speed through the work and expect some delays. If you have any questions, you can call the DPW at 582-4160. Is there any public comment from the board?
Which one? I just wanted to mention that Lunenburg Earth Day 2018 to benefit Wallace Park, it's going to be at Wallace Park. It's hosted by Lunenburg 4-H, and the proceeds benefit revitalizing Lunenburg parks. Free green crafts and activities, farmers market vendors. It'll be on April 22nd from 1 to 4, and we'll be there too.
Right, we'll have the volunteer booth set up, and I believe that the Stormwater Task Force will be there with rain barrels and composting things.
And the Enviroscape.
Right.
Bring it all.
Any public comment from the public? Please.
Tom Alonso, 284 Lancaster Avenue. Just two announcements. First, I want to thank everybody who came out on Friday night for a very successful game show fundraiser, Are You Smarter Than Our Sixth Graders? It was a pleasure to host, and we had the best attendance. We had some great themed teams, great games, and through all the donations that people provided along the way, went over our goal. I don't have the exact figure yet, but we went over our goal of $20,000 raised for the Boys and Girls Club of Lunenburg. So I want to thank everybody who in any way participated, donated, volunteered, attended, and I think that PAC just released the YouTube of it, so you can look on their channel on YouTube and you can see the game show live. Again, it was a lot of fun to have. On a second note, I just want to announce a Board of Selectmen candidates debate on Thursday, March 3rd at 7 p.m. at the Lunenburg...
April 3rd?
May 3rd?
May 3rd?
May 3rd, sorry, May 3rd.
May 3rd.
Thursday, May 3rd, 7 p.m. at the Lunenburg Middle High School. We encourage voters to come out and listen to the candidates talk about the issues, submit questions about the issues. It is sponsored by the Lunenburg Ledger, and it is moderated by the town moderator, Tim Murphy. Thank you.
Now, is there going to be some way that people can submit questions, or how does that work?
Yeah, it'll be at the event. At the event, you'll have 3x5 cards that people in attendance can submit questions, and they'll be submitted to the town moderator, who will choose from those questions.
Okay, cool. Now, what time does it start?
7 p.m.
7 p.m. Thank you.
And it will be recorded. It won't be televised live, but because we want people to come, but it will be recorded and then rebroadcast after.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other public comment? Okay. Well, first order of business is an appointment with Honey Farms, number 3829, 134 Leominster Shirley Road, for a change of beneficial interest and a change of manager. Hi.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board. My name is John Aida of McDermott, Quilty & Miller of 28 State Street in Boston. With me is Katie Phelan. She is the Associate General Counsel for Global Montello Group Corp. And also in attendance is Tracy Benoit. Mrs. Benoit is the proposed manager of record. We're here on essentially asking for two things. The first is a change of beneficial interest. Essentially, it was a change in the corporate officer position. One of the corporate officers of Global Montello Group Corp., Charles Radinsky, resigned as Executive Vice President and Chief Accounting Officer, and Matthew Spencer was elected and appointed as the Chief Accounting Officer. So because of that change in the corporate level, we're required to present and submit the application before you today, which also gets forwarded up to the ABCC for approval. There's no change in the ownership structure or the day-to-day operations. Mrs. Benoit is the proposed manager of record. That's the second part. She actually was a former manager of record at this location when it first opened approximately 4 years ago. And but for the corporate change when Global took over ownership of the Honey Farms, I think for a short period of time there was a new manager appointed. So Mrs. Benoit is coming back in the fold. She has close to 20 years experience in the liquor industry at Honey Farms. She has a great track record, is tip certified, the staff there is tip certified, so we don't anticipate any issues or concerns, and we ask that the board vote favorably on these two issues.
And I have note here that the paperwork is in order and the query on the new manager came back okay. Any questions or comments from the board?
I would make a motion that we approve the requested change of beneficial interest and manager as submitted.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay,
All right, thank you very
congratulations.
much, appreciate it. Need us to sign in on that?
No. He's gonna kill me because I probably should have gotten his name. Okay, our 7:10 appointment is for Bicycles Battling Cancer ride request. Mr. Mark Walter, please.
Good evening. So my name is Mark Walter. I am here to represent Bicycles Battling Cancer. This will be the 10th year of this charity ride, which offers multiple ride distances to cyclists. The event is on Sunday, June 10th. The courses that are being utilized for this event are the same as last year. There has been an additional 50-mile route added, but it's basically consisting of the same roads. So there's really no impact, any change on Lunenburg. There are about 2 miles of Lunenburg that are utilized. They come along Lunenburg Road, turn right on Leominster Shirley, and continue on their way that way. And the police chief has been informed of the event and has given his blessing, and I'm hoping to walk out of here with your blessing as well.
So that's Lunenburg Road, Lancaster, but Fort Pond Road, Lunenburg, and they turn right on Northfield, Leominster Shirley Road, go to Shirley? Okay.
Yep.
That's consistent with what the last one was. Okay.
Yes.
Any other questions?
Make a motion, we approve the proposed bike ride on Sunday, June 10th.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Okay. We have a 7:15 appointment, but I don't think it's controversial. So I'll ask, it's this yellow dot gets, and I'll ask the Council on Aging Director, Sue Doherty, to come up and tell us what that's all about.
Hi, I'm Sue Doherty, the Director at the Lunenburg Council on Aging. I just want to let you know about this new program we have now, the Yellow Dot Emergency Program. We were able to fund this with memorial donations given to the Council on Aging Gift Fund in memory of Therese Barney. And when Stan dropped off the donations, he was dropping off the checks, he said, do something really good with the money. So Stan, being a former police officer, we thought it would be great to do something in memory of his mom to help people in an emergency. And what they are is, and I made one for each of you. Adam, you can be Heather if you'd like. Paul is not here, so the Yellow Dot program, it's a nationally recognized motor vehicle safety program dedicated to making sure that first responders have access to your medical information in the event of a crisis. I hope you like the pictures. I made to work hard on that. Medical personnel can make the best decisions regarding emergency treatment when they know about an individual's medical history, medications, and allergies. I've spoken with Sully, Chief Sullivan and Chief Marino, and they're on board with it, and I dropped a bunch off at the fire station so the guys know what to look for. And what they do is there's a yellow sticker that you put in the rear window passenger side, and then if there's an accident, the first responders know that this is in your glove compartment. And this contains all your medical information. You're supposed to put a picture of yourself in the front just so they can recognize you.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
It's fairly simple. So anyways, like I said, Sully and Chief Marino are on board with it, and we're really excited about this. And like I said, this is made possible through donations from Therese Barney, and we thought it was a good idea.
So how do people get them?
They can go to the Eagle House and pick them up. We ordered 300 of them. Right now, we're going to do 2 per household, just to see how it goes. You know, I can find other grant money afterwards if we need to get them. They're similar to the File of Life that the fire department had out before, the red magnetic folder with your medical information that you put on the refrigerator and one in your wallet. We have those also, so if anybody wants those, they can get those too. And just one more thing, it doesn't have to do with the program. I heard about the debate with the candidates. As you know, we hosted a building forum at the senior center for the elders. We're doing a similar thing for everybody who's running for anything in the town on May 9th from 3:30 to 5 o'clock. So I sent invitations to everybody who's running. It's not a debate, it's just a meet and greet with the candidates. Tim Murphy agreed to, you know, come help me out with it just to make sure things don't get out of hand. So that's going to be on Wednesday, May 9th from 3:30 to 5 p.m.
That's a nice opportunity. Thank you for offering that.
You know, it's tough for the elders to get out at night if it's, you know, I know it's lighter now, but, you know, they like going there, so. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue.
Thank you very much.
You know, seeing Sue just reminded me of another announcement I probably should have made. Memorial Day this year will be, Memorial Day town observance will be at the Veterans Memorial Park across the street from the Senior Center on Memorial Day, Monday, I believe it's May 28th, at 10 o'clock. And Sue is going to have coffee set up afterwards or before? Afterwards. And we have, I call it a committee, but it's the same people every year. But anybody who's interested in helping, this coming Thursday night, we're having our first organization meeting. May end up being the last meeting, as long as we get all the different things covered at the Eagle House at 6:30. So anybody interested in helping out, this coming Thursday at 6:30 at the Eagle House, and anybody interested in attending, it's on Memorial Day at 10 a.m. at the Veterans Memorial Park. And Sue's been very helpful with that every year. Thank you very much.
That's always a very sweet service. I really enjoy that.
Okay, we have an appointment, the town clockwinder appointment, William Tyler. Come on up. Is this a reappointment, Bill? No, okay, we have a new clockwinder. Terrific.
Bill Tyler, 5 Grand Street.
Okay, and there is a talent bank form in here. You want to say anything?
Well, I had a conversation with Mr. Franco. He's a sort of lead clockwinder, I guess you call it, and he said they needed some help, and I kind of repair small clocks as a hobby, and I've always wanted to. I've been fascinated with a town clock ever since I was a little kid, so that's basically it.
It's just a bigger flywheel.
It's a bigger slide, basically, that's it.
I would make a motion that we appoint Bill Tyler clockwinder through June 30th of 2018.
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
But how come it's such a short term?
Yeah, I guess that's an open term, and then we probably renew it.
That's when all the appointments,
All right, so
it's an annual.
Oh, so somebody's leaving?
Yep.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure you have to come back, but we'll do the paperwork and get the reappointments done at June, all right?
We don't want to make it hard.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for helping.
My life is now complete.
All right.
Okay, we have one other appointment for a position filling a vacancy on the Agricultural Commission. And we have one candidate, Matt Allison. And I gotta find that. I don't have any information on when that term is. Do you know, Matt?
It's Maureen's spot, and I'm not quite sure when that expires.
Okay.
So we'll follow that.
Matt, would you take a minute and tell us who you are and why you want to be on the Ag Commission?
Sure. Matt Allison, 188 Flat Hill Road. I grew up on 305 Flat Hill Road, and I was born here in Lunenburg. I was probably 10 or 12 before I had McDonald's. We were on a self-sustaining farm. We raised horses and dogs. When I was born, there were 18 Arabians. We do 2,000 to 3,000 hay bales a year. Jim Latanzi hays our fields. We've got 70 to 80 acres of forest land. It's always been my passion is agriculture, and I've always loved this town. I've been involved with the AgCom since the meeting at the Ritter, where we packed the downstairs before we had an agricultural commission in 2012 to gain interest, and apparently there was enough interest to formulate it. I was there on was it June 20th, 2013, for their very first meeting, and I've been involved ever since. The chair actually has the record of attendance. I believe I'm second. I've been the liaison from planning board since 2013.
Okay.
So will planning board have another liaison then, or will you be able to do both?
No, we actually have other members on planning that have become appointed members to their subcommittees that they report on, and they just become part of that membership, and they still do the committee report just like nothing happened.
Oh, okay. So it won't be, someone else will have to step in. You can just do both things.
Exactly.
Okay, great.
I would make a motion that we appoint Matt Allison to the Agricultural Commission to fill out the remaining term of Maureen.
Second?
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you for
Congratulations.
volunteering.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for getting recognition for what you were doing already.
Yeah.
Okay. Our first item of current business is the refunding of general obligation bonds for roads, water, sewer. USDA requires several votes, and there's information in your package, and luckily Karen's here to help us with
Walk us
that.
through it.
Well, I don't know about the paperwork, because you guys have to sign that, and there's a lot of tabs in there, so you're going to be
boy.
signing for a while, but I can at least give you a little summary of what it is you are signing. We went out to bid and are scheduled to issue bonds on April 25th for the pavement management plan, the refunding of the debt for the Meadowwoods sewer and the Meadowwoods water that was originally authorized through USDA. We received the bids, and the average coupon rate for the bonds is 3.62%. I can tell you that as far as the water and sewer project goes, the principal and interest payments would be reduced for the sewer portion of the bond by about $10,000 on average, and for the water portion of the bond by about $5,000 on average, but those costs are borne by the property owner. through a betterment that's assessed on their tax bill. And he had requested a number of times that we look into refunding this debt, and we did that, and as a result, there will be a savings passed on to the property owner.
Oh, great.
As far as the pavement management plan, we had intended to borrow $1,250,000 in this issue. We actually received a premium when we went out to bid for the bond of $135,000, so we were able to only bond $1,150,000, and we have $103,000 in premium that we're going to be able to apply to the project and not have to bond.
Oh, great.
So the bond that we issued for the roads is $1,150,000, and the impact that that has on the tax rate based on the 15-year term of that bond, the high would be 22 cents on the tax rate, and the low would be 4 cents on the tax rate until the bond is paid in full. And with this bond being issued and the prior premiums that we've been able to apply to the project, we had an original authorization of $4 million, and with this issue and the premium applied, we'll have an unissued balance of $1,046,111 that we would be looking to issue right around this time next year for the next paving season.
So when will we have borrowed the whole 4 million?
Next year.
Next year's the end of it.
Yeah.
You know, when you said something goes from 4 cents to 22 cents, how do you know whether it's 4 cents or 22 cents?
Well, I just looked at the average, the principal and interest payments on the bond through the life of the bond, and the high, based on the highest principal and interest payment that we'll be making at that time, the impact to the tax rate is the 22 cents, and then it drops down to a low of 4 cents because the final payment on the bond is about $51,000. The high is $288 for a single one-year payment, and then it drops down based on principal payments being made over the term of the bond.
Okay, thanks.
I can read the motion if you want.
Yeah, please.
I move that in order to reduce interest costs, the treasurer is authorized to issue refunding bonds at one time or from time to time pursuant to Chapter 44, Section 21A of the general laws or pursuant to any other enabling authority to refund the outstanding balance of the town's $1,711,000 general obligation sewer bond dated June 23, 2009, maturing on or after June 23, 2018, and $1,153,000 general obligation water bond dated June 23, 2009, maturing on or after June 23, 2018, each issued to the United States of America Rural Development, collectively the refunded bonds, and that the proceeds of any refunding bonds issued pursuant to this vote shall be used to pay the principal, redemption premium, if any, and interest on the refunded bonds and costs of issuance of the refunding bonds. Further move that the sale of $3,685,000 general obligation municipal purpose loan of 2018 bonds of the town dated April 25th, 2018, the bonds, to Roosevelt and Cross Incorporated at the price of $3,835,211.55 and accrued interest, if any, is hereby approved and confirmed. The bond shall be payable on May 1st of the years, and the principal amounts and bear interest at the respective rates as listed on the chart submitted from 2019 through 2047. Further move that the bonds maturing on May 1st, 2038, May 1st, 2043, and May 1st, 2047 each, a term shall be subject to mandatory redemption or mature as follows, as listed from 2033 to 2038, 2039 to 2043, 2044 to 2047. Further move that in connection with the marketing and sale of the bonds, the preparation and distribution of a notice of sale and preliminary official statement dated April 4th, 2018, and an official statement dated April 11th, 2018, the official statement, each in such form as may be approved by the town treasurer, be and is hereby ratified, confirmed, approved, and adopted. Further move that the bond shall be subject to redemption at the option of the town upon such terms and conditions as are set forth in the official statement. Further move that the town treasurer and the Board of Selectmen be and hereby are authorized to execute and deliver a continuing disclosure undertaking in compliance with SEC Rule 15C2-12 in such form as may be approved by bond counsel to the town, which undertaking shall be incorporated by reference in the bonds for the benefit of the holders of the bond from time to time. Further moved that we authorize and direct the treasurer to establish post-issuance federal tax compliance procedures in such form as the treasurer and bond counsel deemed sufficient, or if such procedures are currently in place, to review and update said procedures in order to monitor and maintain the tax-exempt status of the issue. And further move that each member of the Board of Selectmen, the town clerk, and the town treasurer be and hereby are authorized to take any and all such actions and execute such and deliver such certificates, receipts, or other documents as may be determined by them or any of them to be necessary or convenient to carry into effect the provisions of the foregoing votes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, now, Mrs. Bertram will have to sign the statement that we did all that, so we provide her with the notes from that vote. And we have a whole stack that we have to sign here, and I'm going to suggest we wait and do that at the end of our meeting. Thank you, Karen.
Karen.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Let's see. We don't have any minutes. We have a couple of warrants. Seems like chump change compared to what we just did. Accounts payable in the amount of $164,894.64. Payroll in the amount of $775,181.92. And accounts payable in the amount of $40,220.10. Are there any action file issues?
Well, one issue I had, where was it? Oh, I was looking for an event and entertainment license policy discussion. We were talking about that, you know, it seemed that it's all over the place and we wanted to firm that up. Wanted to get that on the schedule.
Okay. Event and...
Entertainment license.
Okay.
You know, and specifically, I would really like to know what the guidelines under which Shady Point operates currently.
Okay. We'll get
Thank
that
you.
on a future agenda.
Thank you.
Committee reports. Mr. McQuaid?
Planning board hasn't met unless Adam wants to give us any important updates.
Just that the last time they met, Thank you, I didn't expect to talk, so they didn't give me a microphone. They approved the three-family dwelling across from the public safety building, so you'll probably see some construction happening there. And they did approve their bylaw updates. And they voted them favorably to go to town meeting, so you can look forward to a fun and exciting presentation at the end of a long day. Thanks.
Anything else, Mrs. Luck?
The Stormwater Task Force met on April 12th to discuss a potential 319 grant submission. I'm attending another RFP meeting at the Department of Environmental Protection tomorrow morning with Ed Himlin, our consultant, on this potential submission. As the DPW director was not in attendance at our meeting, we were unable to ascertain the status of the MS4 permit annual report, which is due May 1st. Hopefully that's being taken care of. At that meeting, Adam Burney brought information about municipal vulnerability preparedness program, I guess, Adam, it's similar to the community compact, the way it runs, sort of. Maybe you could talk about it a little bit. There's a meeting tomorrow. Were you going to be able to attend that one?
There is. I'm not able to attend that, and it's really just a launch. Municipal Vulnerability Preparedness Program, they call it the MVP program. It's intended to work with communities to move towards nature-based solutions for some of their infrastructure needs, specifically around stormwater and other items, traffic calming, and it functions similar to past programs, Commonwealth Capital, Community Compact, where it's a voluntary opt-in program. You work with a trained provider by the Commonwealth. There's about 70 agencies and 280 trained providers, and what they do is they hold charrettes, or I think they call them stakeholder meetings, 2 4-hour or 1 8-hour, and the community goes through what its goals are, and they're facilitators. They're not there to say do this or that. They're there to listen and sort of synthesize that information. And in doing so, you have access to certain capital for specific projects, and when you apply for other grants, park grants, Mass Works, things like that, you sort of get that extra kicker of an extra point or two, or that priority over somebody who may have a similar score.
So I'm sure it's something we should look into, because there are grants. Now, there's about 80 communities in the Commonwealth participating already. Okay, great. At one of our former meetings, I discussed the results of the total cost of the Lunenburg Education Association current contract. The business manager, Mr. Cassidy, let me know that the information he had given me was actually incorrect, and he wanted to let me have the amended amounts, which I'm going to pass out now. There are 8 teachers in this current contract who will receive $5,700 each. 12 teachers who will receive, this is in addition to the raise for this year, the cost of living raise. 12 teachers who will be at $3,800 each, and 27 teachers at $1,900 each, which are steps above step 12. And the total for this year is $142,500. Teachers receiving the 3 steps of the $5,700 will receive an 8% salary increase this year. The current teacher's contract, which is now in its second year, will increase the school budget by $1,002,735 over the 3 years of the contract. And he wanted to make those corrections because the information he had given me formerly was a bit lower than that.
For yourself?
No report.
And no report for myself. The only department report in your package, there is an animal control officer quarterly report. Is there any questions or comments on that? All righty. So our upcoming meetings, we do not meet next Tuesday. We will have a meeting on May 1st. I'm working with the town manager, if I ever see her again, to put a workshop meeting together for us to get some preliminary discussion on the facilities, first step facilities planning, and if we get anything done, we'll get material out in advance of that, in that workshop. She and I got to meet as soon as she gets back from her vacation. And I remind you that the annual town meeting is May 5th. That concludes our meeting for tonight. Is there any public comment from the public? Any public comment from the board?
Make a motion, we adjourn?
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.